Hi, this is Kirk Smith with I.C.H.E.'s Take 5. We've dedicated this last month to talking about home discipleship, specifically as it compares to different models of home education, like public schooling at home. Public schooling at home is when parents just simply bring the public school model back home and sit our kids at desk or a table, and they have their textbooks, their science book, their math books, and that's school. I.C.H.E.'s vision is more of called home discipleship, and that's where we include academics, but we also talk about things like knowing God and knowing God's Word, establishing godly character traits in the hearts of our kids, establishing a biblical worldview through which to see from, and it's just that whole holistic approach to life. And we've talked specifically on application. How do we do home discipleship? What does it look like? And we've taken off from Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7, which says this: "You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise." The last of these four that we're going to talk about today is when we walk by the way. And that is really where home discipleship, homeschooling really shines, because so many life lessons present themselves every day in a myriad of ways that we can teach and transfer to our children. For example, just the other day we've had a bird show up on our back deck, and it keeps on hitting the window. It's looking at itself. And so we've had to deal with that bird in a very drastic way. And so we talk to our kids how pride and vanity can oftentimes lead to our demise. We have lessons on priorities all the time out here. We have to mow the yard, and maybe a rain's coming, and our kids want to do something else that day. And I've had to tell the kids, guys, you've got to put off what you want to do because we've got to get mowing right now. We have the opportunity. We have to take advantage of that. And that's really life, because sometimes we just don't get to do what we want to do because other things are always pressing in. There are times that we go deer hunting here. And I don't know how many times my children and I, especially my eldest daughter and I, have just sit and talk for 2 or 3 hours about life in a deer stand. We use lessons of nature. We use lessons of perhaps hunting or fishing. And it just goes into talking about how to deal with life situations. And so we've got to get past the notion that homeschooling is just about books. It is so much more than that. Every Saturday we give our Saturdays to washing cars. Now, whether you're in the country or the city, that matters not. And I talk to my sons often about maintaining what we have. America's become a disposable society. We use it, and once we're done with it, we just throw it away and buy something new. One of our vehicles has well over 220,000 miles on it, and we go up north in this vehicle. And so I teach our kids, this is why it's important to change the oil, to keep the inside clean, to keep the outside washed. And those might seem like little things, but folks, that's what life's about. My wife teaches our daughters about planning. Our Sunday morning Sabbath is not stressful like some homes are, because my wife takes Saturday night out to prepare. She lays the clothes out. She gets the breakfast. She lets the kids know, here's what's happening tomorrow. And so everybody's on the same page. Just taking a few minutes out to plan and prepare takes the stress out of Sunday morning. Again, a great life lessons. We have lessons from our garden. I talk to the boys when they got some big weeds, that they've overlooked some weeds and they have to really pull and yank on some weeds. I talk to them and say, hey, this is life. If you get sin, those weeds of your life out when they're small, it doesn't present a big problem. But if you wait till they're really entrenched, it really is difficult. Those things are what goes into making up home discipleship. Those are the things that go into God's grace using to bring our kids into a greater understanding of Him. And so we want you to really understand and encourage and embrace home discipleship as opposed to simply just homeschooling. Again, I would want to encourage you and invite you, if you have any questions or any situations you'd like for me to address or one of our board members to address via Take 5. I'd love to have those sent to me at ksmith@iche.org. And I also want to remind you of 2 events coming up here in the next couple of months. We have, first of all, our Family Day for Southern Illinois over at Mount Vernon, and that is on our website to register. That's August the 27th. And of course, our I.C.H.E. Family Camp in East Troy, Wisconsin is already about 3/4 of the way full. That is the second week in September. And so you can go to our website at www.ich.org to register or to have more details. Again, I hope that you will embrace the vision of home discipleship. This is Kirk Smith with I.C.H.E.'s Take 5.